Hello, I am Evelyn Stingambe with the morning edition of MBC News. The headlines. President Mutharika appeals to the International Monetary Fund to intervene in Malawi's forex situation. The 7th African Union-European Union Summit commences in Angola today. And in sports, FCB Nyasa Big Bullets goes top of the TNM Super League after defeating Civil Service United. Thank you for joining us. Now the news in detail. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has asked the International Monetary Fund, IMF, to intervene in addressing Malawi's foreign situation as the country transitions into value addition of its mineral resources. President Mutharika made the remarks when he held an interface with an IMF team at Mtontama State Lodge in Lilongwe. He highlighted that the country is in a fix as it grapples with high public debt, hence the urgent need for IMF's intervention.
Of course, long term is to find resources, forex, and also to restructure the debt. And I think this way we hope we can get support from the IMF and of course your sister organizations who are heavily indebted both to the private and also the official institutions, heavily indebted, and we have to restructure them. At the moment, all the revenue we get actually going into debt servicing, and they keep borrowing more and more just to carry out day-to-day affairs of government, of state. So debt servicing is something that we're working on, and we're hoping that the IMF can assist us also to ease maybe some of the requirements you have in debt restructuring, so that's medium need that the debt situation, and of course for medium to long term, we have the obviously we need to produce our own forex. We're hoping that at the moment IMF can assist us. I understand we have assisted other countries. I understand Ethiopia, about $11 million US, Zambia, about $1 million, and we're asking for very little compared with those two countries.
In his remarks, IMF Director for Africa, Abebe Selassie, has pledged to support Malawi in addressing its urgent needs.
IMF basically helps countries address macroeconomic challenges that they're facing. So we can do this through policy advice, we can do this through capacity development, technical assistance, and we can also do this through financing. And we're going to try and use all three modalities to support Malawi going forward.
The 7th African Union-European Union Summit and the Extraordinary African Union Summit commences in Angola's capital, Luanda, today. Vice President Dr. Jane Ansah is leading the Malawi delegation at the summit, which is being held under the theme Promoting Peace and Prosperity Through Effective Multilateralism. Meanwhile, Malawi is expecting stronger commitment from the EU on energy, digital infrastructure, trade facilitation, and support for industrialization agenda. Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Dr. George Chaponda, made the remarks in an interview with our reporter, Simeon Boyce, in Angola.
Today is to more or less stock taking, to see how far they have done what they have done, and what else they can do in order to strengthen further that cooperation. The issues involved, especially between the African Union and the European Union, as you know, European Union in the context of Malawi is our strongest partner, among the strongest partners. And we rely upon them in terms of the grants which they have given us, loans and technical assistance, facilitation of trade, and even energy. There's so much, and especially now with the agenda of His Excellency the President, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, of focusing on industrial development. It is very important that it is very important and timely that this meeting is taking place, because we'll take advantage of this meeting in order to pursue our agenda in terms of industrial development, energy facilitation, trade facilitation, and so many other things. And I think it's very, very important ourselves, because we are coming to this meeting after we have just had a successful meeting in Morocco, where the Moroccans agreed to establish a fertilizer factory in Malawi, among other things, and also establish a 500 megawatts solar energy, and to also give us fertilizer and so on. This complements what we will be doing here, because if from that fertilizer factory, which will be established in Malawi, and if the EU also assist us indirectly in other areas involving digital industrialization and marketing, that will complement each other.
Malawi and Uganda have reaffirmed their commitment of deepening trade and investment cooperation to boost the economies of the two countries. At this year's Uganda-Malawi Business Forum and Exhibition in Lilongwe, Uganda's High Commissioner to Malawi, Fred Masiye, described the forum as an opportunity for the two countries to leverage on existing products and services. Details in this report by Jinsisi Moyo.
The Uganda-Malawi Business Forum brought together business leaders, investors and innovators with one common ground of showcasing products and services offered in the two countries. Uganda's High Commissioner, Fred Masiye, announced a partnership that will see the introduction of direct flights between Lilongwe and Entebbe in Uganda to roll out on 15th December. This, according to the High Commissioner, will strengthen business links and support new partnerships.
Connectivity is very, very important in any trade transaction. So we are happy to announce that Malawi Air will be flying to Entebbe from 15th December. And on that flight, we're going to carry 10 to 15 business people who will be coming to Uganda to benchmark and to get connected to other counterparts of theirs. And that will be the beginning of easy connectivity between Malawi and Ugandan business people.
Representing the Malawi government, Spiwe Maua, Director of Administration and the Ministry of Industrialization, Business, Trade and Tourism, said Malawi offers vast investment opportunities in agribusiness, manufacturing, mining, energy, tourism and services.
There are so many people that are asking, what is it that I can do to export our products to Uganda? Again, we have also seen Ugandans that they have come here in Malawi, they want to invest, they want to do business, but they have faced a lot of problems that maybe they're actually being discouraged. So we've got Malawi Revenue Authority that will provide information in terms of what are the tax holidays that you get. So this forum is the right forum that as government, we know after this session there will be B2B, business to business, and also government to government sessions.
Acting Director of Trade Promotion and Facilitation at Malawi Investment and Trade Center, MITC, Love Mondege, described the forum as vital to the growth of business and trade between the two countries.
Malawian businesses can buy various products in Uganda. Malawi Airlines is going to start operations on the 15th of December to Uganda. So it's going to promote tourism between the two countries.
Through the forum, Private sector players from both countries explored new opportunities and areas of cooperation in trade and business. Jensisi Moyo, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Small and medium enterprises in the country have been challenged to propel the country's economic growth through its newly established umbrella body, Union of Small and Medium Enterprises. Deputy Director for Value Addition in the Ministry of Industrialization, Business, Trade and Tourism, Jacinta Chapola, made the remarks in Lilongwe during the union's first ever business breakfast engagement. Details with our reporter, Foster Maulidi.
Chapola says small and medium enterprises are a big driving force for the country's economic growth. She therefore urged them to enhance their production scale and quality for more exports and import substitution. She assured of government's commitment to supporting the SMEs through conducive policies and facilitations with lending institutions.
The coming up of the union will make sure that those that are in the same sector should be able to aggregate the products for the both regional and the global market. So we are glad as government that MUSME is now in place so that it's a mouthpiece, one, or for government to all sectors, all associations under its mandate, and also for us to reach out to markets. It's easier to connect with MUSME, and the MUSME facilitates that each of the sectors under its umbrella should get organized, aggregate products so that we access markets that need high volumes.
President for the union, James Chiwutsi, has since expressed gratitude to the government for its continued support to the SMEs. Chiwutsi says formation of the union is a big push for the growth as it will enhance more collaborations and bargaining power through a collective voice policy.
We feel very challenged, but at the same time we are happy because government has committed that whatever issues, whatever level playing field that we need, government is really very ready to work on that. We know that government is not in the business of producing goods and services. That is for us. But we know that for that to happen, the ground must be well prepared for that. We need equipment for our SMEs to produce. And government is willing to really work with us along that path.
According to the World Bank statistics, SMEs accounts for about 40% of gross domestic product GDP and 24% job creation, making it central to economic diversification, productivity and poverty reduction. Foster Maulidi, MBC News, Lilongwe.
You're watching MBC News and you are with me, Evelis Chingambi. A reminder of the top stories. President Mutharika appeals to the International Monetary Fund to intervene in Malawi's forex situation. The 7th African Union European Union Summit commences in Angola today. And in sports, FCB Nyasa Big Bullets goes top of the TNM Super League after defeating Civil Service United. Welcome back. The ruling Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, has welcomed former Aford Member of Parliament Yeremia Jehana and Walita Nkandawire into its fold to strengthen the party in Rumpi. Speaking when he welcomed the two new members, DPP Regional Governor for the North, Christopher Mzumiarangira, said the coming in of Jehana and Nkandawire will give the DPP an opportunity to have a wider choice of selection of candidates that will represent the party during the forthcoming by-election in the area.
The ruling Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, continues to attract several prominent individuals that are coming in to strengthen the party at all levels. Latest to join are former Aford Member of Parliament, Yeremia Jehana, and Walita Nkandawire, who have joined the party ahead of the forthcoming by-elections in Rumpi Central. DPP Regional Governor for the North, Christopher Ngwira, said the 2 new members will bring their leadership skills and knowledge that will help to strengthen the party in the district.
The party grow when new members are joining. That is when the party grow. And the people have welcomed here into the party, DPP. They are not just mere people. This is the sign that people of Lumpi, they have trust in the leadership of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. That is why they have told these sons of Lumpi to join the DPP.
Deputy Secretary General Edina Manda described the coming in of the new members as a vote of confidence to the leadership of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, who has been entrusted to fix the economic challenges the people are facing.
Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has always been telling the people to say, if you vote for DPP, you know what you're voting for. You know, as we come here today, the first thing we had to do was to thank the people for voting for him, and then we're here also to strengthen the party, to say more things they are coming. We are asking for people to have the patience to say, as our president is leading this country, there's a lot of things he needs to fix, and the better days are just before us.
Rumpi Central fell vacant following the appointment of Enoch Chihana to the position of second vice president of the Republic of Malawi. Several dignitaries, including Deputy Minister of Gender and Social Welfare, Martha Ngwira, attended the rally. Hassan Piri, MBC News, Rumpi.
National Bank of Malawi has emphasized the importance of collaborative efforts to improve sanitation and waste management in markets and other public areas in the country. National Bank's Senior Manager for Corporate Banking, Shadrach Malenga, said this in Lilongwe during a handover ceremony of sanitation and maintenance tools to Lilongwe City and District Councils. We have a report.
The National Bank of Malawi has handed over sanitation and maintenance tools worth 5.5 million kwacha and a cash donation of 15 million kwacha to the Lilongwe City Council and 15 million kwacha sanitation management tools to the Lilongwe District Council. NBM's Senior Manager for Corporate Banking, Shadrach Malenga, said NBM has set aside 200 million kwacha to help bridge funding gaps faced by both district and city councils in managing sanitation in market areas.
National Bank, as a good corporate citizen, we do work with our local city assembly and councils in their day-to-day work. So when we saw that there was this gap in the funding for these councils, we thought we would step in this small way to try and alleviate this challenge that the assembly, the council is experiencing.
Lilongwe City Mayor Peter Alex Banda said the donation is timely as it will help towards the sanitation improvement drive.
These things we are going to use on our roads, heavy facilities in many ways, because look at Lilongwe now. It looks like not a city. It looks like an old town. We can say old town, but to receive this, I really think because we are going to use in many ways.
Lilongwe District Council Director of Finance Charles Muhone stressed the need for continued partnership with various stakeholders to tackle sanitation challenges and prevent cholera outbreaks, mainly during the rainy season.
We have more than 64 markets, and all markets, big or small, they require all the refuse, all the wastes to be properly managed, and we need items like what National Bank has donated to make sure that we clean our markets. The issue is very big, issues of cholera during rainy seasons, and we can only prevent cholera and other waterborne diseases through cleanliness in our markets, and National Bank has just done that.
The donation is part of the bank's national support initiative to empower local authorities to manage waste and improve hygiene.
A call has gone out to organizations and individuals to work together in advancing human rights and improving access to justice in the country. High Court Criminal Division Judge Justice Edangira Makibinga made the call at Kajere Women's Prison in Lilongwe during the commemoration of the 2025 International Human Rights Day. Smart Chalika with the details.
High Court Criminal Division Judge Justice Edangira Makibinga noted that enhancing access to justice is the key to reducing congestion in the country's prisons, many of which remain overcrowded due to delayed case conclusions. She reaffirmed the High Court's commitment to speeding up judgments, stressing that no inmate should remain on remand for years without a verdict, and that the rights of all inmates must be upheld.
My call would be, let's try or let's do what we can with what we have, so that by the end of the day, the roles that we are supposed to perform, we should be able to perform them on time, and then by the end of the day, justice will be seen to be done.
Deputy Country Director for Irish Rule of Law International, Dunia Mpande, described Human Rights Day as a reminder of the nation's obligation to safeguard access to justice. She said IRLI is dedicated to supporting prison decongestion efforts by ensuring that all citizens, especially the vulnerable, can obtain justice. Mpande also encouraged Malawians to embrace respect and promote human rights in their communities.
Like you saw the hype that the inmates had. Today, the Human Rights 2025 Day, the theme is Human Rights, our everyday essentials, meaning that this is something that we need to think around to say, this is something we need each and every day to uphold. Whether you are an inmate or you're outside prison, you're not an inmate, this is something that every day you need to uphold. So for us, this means looking at human rights as something that is essential.
Kachere Women's Prison Officer in Charge Senior Superintendent Molin Tiverane acknowledged the facility's persistent challenges, including congestion. She, however, highlighted progress in rehabilitation programs, noting that inmates are gaining skills in sewing and fashion design.
It's my wish for other well-wishers to come and support us in terms of rehabilitation skills, so that maybe when they are going out, they should have something to rely on, so that they cannot come back again here to prison.
Kachere Women Prison currently houses over 120 inmates, despite having a capacity of just 8. The 2025 International Human Rights Day was commemorated under the theme, Human Rights, Our Everyday Essential. Smart Chalika, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The 2025 Nation Publications Limited Mothers Fund Run initiative has raised over 800 million kwacha, which is the highest amount ever raised in the history of the campaign. Main Tomotsi reports.
The scene this year is set at Kasungu District Hospital. Shockingly, a visit to the hospital reveals grave challenges the district is facing in providing universal health care. For instance, the nursery, with a capacity of 30 beds, on this particular day has 42 babies on admission. The congestion story is in each and every ward in the hospital, which was built in 1967 when the population of the district was only 100,000. Noron Kubi, Member of Parliament for Kasungu Municipality, is worried with the status quo and calls for support.
We are facing a number of challenges, especially in the maternity wing, and this is a stage in time. As a Member of Parliament, I would want to extend a call to other well-wishers to come to our rescue. This facility was built in 1967. Then the population was about 100,000. But now our population is over 1 million. So it is saving a lot of people, and we need a lot of resources so that we can sustain our healthcare systems.
The district, however, has a reason to smile, because the 2025 Mothers Fund Run by the Nation Publications Limited NPL has managed to raise over 800 million kwacha worth of equipment. NPL Chief Executive Officer Mbumba Banda says there is a huge impact the Mothers Fund Run initiative has had over the years.
My message to people is that there is no good reason for why a mother or baby should die. We have just heard from the Deputy Director of Health Services from the Ministry of Health. He has said of the mothers and babies that die, 80% of the issues are preventable. And my message is that every small contribution, whether it is to equipment or to space or to furniture and fittings or to advocacy, any small change helps. And my appeal is for people to come together to contribute to a cause such as this one, because from all the stories that we shared today, it is very clear that we're making a difference.
Among the sponsors of this year's fund run are World Vision, who came in with a whopping 477 million kwacha, World Malawi with 179 million kwacha, and Standard Bank with 30 million kwacha, just to mention but a few. Francis Due is the country director of the World Vision Malawi.
Child well-being is very key to us. We want to see children live very positive lives. We want to see healthy children. We want to see healthy mothers, and that is at the core of our ministry. And the National Publication Limited started this initiative, which as World Vision aligns very, very well with our overall objectives and mandate as an organization.
The Mothers Fund Run initiative began 20 years ago by the National Publications Limited (NPL) with the aim of mobilizing resources to reduce maternal and neonatal deaths in the country. Mwaim Tumodzi, MBC, Kasungu.
Moving on to sports, FCB Nyasa Big Bullets have gone top of the TNM Super League following a hard-fought 4-3 victory over Civil Service United at Kamuzu Stadium. Bullets had to come from behind twice to win the 7-goal thriller. Man of the match, Chikumbuto Salima, scored 3 goals for Bullets as Peter Banda netted the other goal, while Chugaiko Batson also scored 3 for Civil. The result has taken Bullets to the top of the table with 53 points above Mighty Wanderers, who have dropped into second position with 52 points and a game in hand. Elsewhere, Goshen City Deta Dynamos walloped Songwe United by 3-0, while Moyale Barracks beat Blue Eagles away by 2-1. Mzuzu City Hammers and Mafco shared the spoils in a goalless draw. And well, that item also concludes this edition of MBC News. A recap of our top stories before we leave. President Mutharika appeals to the International Monetary Fund to intervene in Malawi's forex situation. The 7th African Union European Union Summit commences in Angola today. And in sports, FCB Nyasa Big Bullets goes top of the TNM Super League after defeating Civil Service United. For more updates, scan the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You have been with me, Evelis Chingambe. Thanks for watching and good morning.